What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Appreciate you tuning in as always. I decided that I'm just going to record this process. I'm building out a new campaign live. It's for staffing and recruitment firms, targeting staffing and recruitment firms. So I decided that it would be great for me to just record this to document my process so I can reflect on it in the future. Use it as some social proof to show people who don't already know what I do and what my agency does, to show them what we do. And then to help anybody out there who wants to learn how to send cold emails, really personalized, really well done cold emails at scale. So I'm thinking of making this a two-part series. I'm going to build a campaign targeting staffing and recruitment firms. Perhaps I'll document my results as well. So maybe we make that the part two. And then the next part is I would like to show how I build campaigns for my recruitment agency clients. So how I would get them placements and help them get job orders and searches and mandates. So without further ado, full disclosure, I came up with this idea when I had already exported this data out of Apollo. I'd scraped it out of Apollo and it's now in Clay. So I hit stop on everything and I'm just like, okay, let me just record this. So here's what I did in Apollo. Okay. This is not the most targeted list in the world. I'm really just targeting by company size. Now, when I say company size, I don't mean revenue. I mean employee count, head count. So if we take a look at the left-hand side of the screen, you can see that this says boutique US staffing, boutique US staffing firms before it gets cut off. And there are about 4,200 people in this search. I'm going to move this up so you can see that. Where are we? At the very bottom of the screen, right there. So you can see that there's 4,200 results, and we'll go through the filters and my thought process behind each and how I'm thinking about how it changes my copy or my offer as I go. So I'm targeting boutique. So why am I targeting boutique staffing firms? First off, I speak the language of staffing and recruitment very well. I was a former recruiter. I worked at a boutique staffing and recruitment firm, and I was the top performer at the agency. So I speak that language very well. I know the sales cycle, the process, whether it's permanent hires or temporary hires, so I understand it. I can speak the language. Where I messed up in the past is venturing into niches I had no business being in. I don't speak biomedical technology. I don't speak healthcare tech. So I don't know how to word those offers properly. If it's in marketing, if it's financial services, if it's in consulting, if it's in staffing and recruitment, I speak those languages very, very, very well because I have work experience in those and technology. Anything else? No. So that's why staffing and recruitment. That is how you have a huge leg up before you even start writing the copy. Now that we're here, I decided on boutique staffing firms because my thought process is I'm going to help. So I have an offer in my head where I'm going to help these folks. If they don't already run cold email at scale, I'm going to help them set it up and run it end to end, completely done for you. They don't have to lift a finger, and I'm going to get them 5 meetings in 5 weeks. All that for a one-time fee with a full money-back guarantee, so a full refund if that doesn't work. Because sometimes cold email isn't right for every business. It works rather well for staffing and recruitment agencies, but you just never know. Sometimes these folks don't when I say these folks, sometimes companies don't have a sales process dialed in. Sometimes their closing rate is a lot less than it should be, stuff like that. So regardless, I find that firms between 3 to 10 employees are most receptive to this offer. Because remember, I'm not promising 50 leads or 50 job orders a month. I'm promising 5 really hyper targeted intros with actual qualified hiring managers who are actually looking to take on an agency or to work with an agency in their search. So 5 of those. And then another layer of guarantee is if one of those leads shows up to the meeting and is not in your fit, swap it out for free. And in the off chance that I don't get you the 5 meetings, which I will, but in the off chance that we don't, you get a full refund and you get to keep the system, the training documents, everything like that. So I think it's a pretty good offer. I think it's meant for smaller sized staffing and recruitment firm. With that being said, because it's a so let's get into the filter. So because it's a small staffing recruitment firm, we're going straight after the CEO slash founder slash co-founder slash president. That person, if it's 3 to 10 employees, they're the ones making the decisions. Why 3 to 10 employees? Why not 4 to 11 or 2 to 9? 10 is just a nice number. I understand not much changes between 8 employees and 11 employees. 10 is just a nice number. And I'm thinking about my old agency as well that I worked at. They had 20 employees at the time, and that was a whole operation. Like, they had everything down pat. They were doing quite well for a boutique firm. Anything less than 3 employees, I doubt they have an SDR, like a dedicated SDR, a dedicated account executive, or a dedicated sales process. I could be wrong. However, to make this work, they're going to need someone who can take on the sales calls and the job board, and there needs to be a sales process here. There has to be money coming in. There has to be cash flow. That's just the only way to make this work and keep my business alive. So that is the whole thought process. That is why I selected these job titles right here, and you can see how deeply you have to think about each layer here, because this is cold outbound. We are paying for this. We are expending resources. When you understand the mindset and the mentality and all of how this stuff affects everything down to your copy, your offer, then this becomes a lot easier, and you feel confident sending more and more and more and more emails, a high volume of emails, because you understand who you're talking to and what matters to them. So that is why I chose those job titles. Very simple. I didn't choose vice president. Maybe I should. Let's just see. So I already scraped this, but let's just see what would have happened. So the count is 4,218 people right now. Let's just see what happens when we add vice president right here. Let's just see. 4,218. Apollo slow because I'm screen recording. 42. It turns into 4,216. So kind of like we said, right? It's gonna. Between 3 and 10 employees, you probably don't have a vice president. Maybe you do, but maybe you have a director. But regardless, the person who's making the decision as to whether our business is going to partner with some lead gen agency, it's the founder, the co-founder, the CEO, and the president. That's who has final say. If there is a vice president, they're going to run it by that. They're going to run it by the founder. As you can see, email status. So right above job title, email status, I have that set to verified emails only, and I turned off include catch-all emails because I don't want any catch-all emails. Now, Apollo says these email addresses are verified, but they're not. I mean, they are, but maybe only 75% of them that are marked as verified are actually valid verified email addresses. That's okay. We love Apollo. Now, company and lookalikes, I just excluded some companies here because we either already work with them or perhaps they got back to us and said they're not interested. So I have a list of companies that I just keep that I just exclude in Apollo. You don't have to do that because it won't go through in Smart Leader instantly regardless if they're on your do not contact list. I also, some of those companies I reached out to through LinkedIn as well, so it may not register in Smart Lead. Industry, so employees, to set it to 3 to 10, you have to do a custom range right there. Location. So sorry, let me just show this to anybody who doesn't already know this. So employees, the filter, it'll usually look like this. So as you can see, 1 to 10 employees has 7,000. 3 to 10 that we selected in our custom range right here has 4,200. So almost 3,000 more recruitment agencies when you include recruitment agencies that only have 1 to 2 employees. And what I did, just to make sure I wasn't being ignorant here, is I selected 1 to 10 employees, and then I would scroll through here And I took a look at some of the recruitment agencies with one employee, and well, you can't really see it. Hold on, let me move up. So there's one right there. You know, yeah, there's 1/3 from the bottom right there. So, like, I took a look at some of those websites, and you could tell that there isn't, you know, it's probably not a fit. They might be doing very well, but it's probably not a fit. So 3 to 10, and I don't use a revenue filter in Apollo because it's wildly inaccurate. So that is why I set that way. Location, I put United States. I could have very easily done the United Kingdom. I could have very easily done Australia. I could have very easily done New Zealand. It didn't increase it by that much. I just had some limiting beliefs about the time difference and stuff like that. But eventually we'll get there anyway. We'll definitely get there. Canada as well. I didn't do Canada. United States is just where I like to start. It's the easiest market to really see if your offer is good or not. It's just you'll get the most real raw feedback. You'll get the most responses from what I found. And that's it. Very clean, basic search. A lot of this will just be about cleaning and enriching in clay, which we're about to go to now. So I have this search, and then best practice is save your search. So as you can see, I saved my search. If you just look at the top middle of the screen, I saved my search. I'm proud of it. I'm happy with it. And then I copied the URL. So I copied the URL. Whoops. There we go. And then I went to Appify. And I have my the scraper for Apollo that I like right here. So you take that. You paste the search URL in here, which I already did, but I'll just paste it in again. I'll leave this. Hold on. I got to move this up. So I leave the total number of records required blank, because if you leave it blank, it just scrapes all of them in that are tied to that URL. I got a cough. Excuse me, guys. I select clean output. Run options, I leave them default. This is the default setting. I leave it as that. Then you just press save and start at the bottom. It took me maybe 5 minutes. Then I downloaded it into a CSV. Now, that is how you scrape 4,218 leads in less than 5 minutes. Now I went to Clay, and I imported the data into here. If you want to know how to do that, I'm just going to assume you have your Clay account set up already. I had this table pre-built because I saved this. It's a proprietary table. I'm happy to show it to you guys, but just know it's always changing. And by the time I put out another video, it's probably going to be outdated. We might have done something different or found a better hack. We're always changing this. So it's a pre-built table, saves me a lot of time, but I went up here to actions on the top right. I hit import from CSV, and then I browse the file. I dragged it in, and now it looks like you guys might have to squeeze your eyes a little bit, but it looks like this. So it got everything from the first name to the last name, everything, from the organization name, blah, 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 blah. You got it, the whole thing, right? LinkedIn URLs, everything you could ask for. Okay. So now the first thing I do, just OCD, is that what it's called? I'm not even sure. Just preference, is I go to, where's the domain name? The domain name, because so much of what we do in Clay, at least with our build, our workflow has to do with the domain name existing or not. So if this cell is empty, I don't even want to waste resources checking for it, or just whatever. It won't waste credits if the cell's empty. Your API won't even run it. But just still, I just like to deal with clean sheets. I like to keep my data clean. It matters. So what I do is I right click on this right here. I select filter on this column. This is the domain column, and it'll open this right here. It'll look just like this, exactly like this. And we're organization primary domain, so the name of the column, and I select is not empty, because I only want to deal with records, contacts where that is populated, where the website exists. The second place I go to is validating the email addresses. A lot of you guys use Million Verifier. I like Mail Tester Ninja. Huge fan. We only have to validate emails once. That's it. If the email's not there, I don't go out and look for it. I like to launch campaigns quickly. This campaign's launching tomorrow. This is a real build that I'm launching. I'm recording this on a Sunday. This is going to launch Monday, July 7th. So the first place I go to is right here. I have this integrated. I have the Mail Tester Ninja API integrated. Let me just, yeah, we'll skip that. Okay. So I have this set up. If you guys want me to walk you through how to set this up, you can let me know. And how I have it set up, this is important for me to show you, is I do not, okay. Yeah, this is good. I was going to say, so I set it up and I don't run anything. I don't like it to auto update or anything like that. So I have it set up so that it doesn't auto update. I don't like wasting resources in Clay if I don't have to. I like intentionally telling it when to run and when not to run. So now I run this for 10 rows and you can see that it's starting to work. It's all good. I integrated everything well. Cool. And this is when I decided to start recording this video. So that's why I only have 10 rows done. So that's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to right click on that. I'm going to hover over run column, and I'm going to run all 3.8 thousand rows that haven't run yet or have errors. And I'm going to pause this video. I'm going to pause the recording until this is done. But before I do that, the reason why I do this first before anything, right? I filtered for the domains to make sure they're not empty, but that wasn't really a step. The reason why I clean the emails first is because I don't like to waste resources on anything else. Like imagine we start running the formula that scrapes the website, right? And then does a summary and then does the ICP check and make sure that this lead is actually a staffing and recruitment firm. Imagine we waste that, all that costs money, right? And imagine we waste resources doing that only to find out that the email address isn't valid and you can't reach that contact anyway. So you did all 4 or 5 of those other steps, but then you can't send the email to this person anyway. This is why I do this step first. Now, Mail Tester Ninja is pretty efficient. It's pretty efficient. It's pretty quick. Let's see how many it's done already. It's done 130. All right. So is there anything else I can do in the meantime? Let's double check. Yeah, you know what? We can set EXA to run only if it's accepted. So we're gonna go down here and move this up a little bit so you guys can see. Only if deliverability is accepted. Oh, I already have it set up. Wow. So I'm just gonna flick that on, and this should work. Save and run 10 rows. So we'll cost independent columns to rerun. Ibra summary. Is it recruitment firm? This is great. Oh yeah. That was awesome. Yeah. See, this is why you want to use pre-made tables. Like this one right here. I should also change the name of this. This table right here was based off of a recruitment build I did in the past, which is nice. So I don't have to change anything. So see how that's just running by itself automatically? This is how you personalize like a million different contacts in a few minutes. So see how, get out of here. Hold on. So this column right here, this EXA scrape one right here in blue, that is scraping the company's website. So it's going to the company's website. It's looking in this column right here. It's saying, okay, let me go to this website and take all the information that's on that homepage. It's taking all the information that's on that homepage. And if it says 200, status code 200, that means it was able to execute. If it says run condition not met, that usually means, remember, this is only running if the email address is accepted. So that usually means, there you go. So this one has a timeout right here, which means it was not accepted. This one right here, I just highlight the whole role for you. Catch-all. The email is a catch-all, and we don't work with catch-alls, right? So that's how that works. Run condition not met, run condition not met. Sure. Should be where it might. There we go. Okay, yeah. So Clay it doesn't go from the top down. So that trips me out sometimes, but it is working. So now, should I explain what else is happening here? So I have it so that it outputs the summary. I'll show you what it looks like here. So this is the scrape of the website, the home page. So it takes all this text. See, I had to click in and click the drop downs and all that stuff I had to peel the layers to find this. So I said, you know what? Let's just add this as its own column. And that's this column right here, access summary. And if you see this little triangle, this red triangle, as you can see, it says the cell data. So the stuff that you scraped, all the information in that cell, it's too big to fit in this cell. This cell has a limit to how much information we can put. Right? Look. You stuffed a lot of stuff in here. So it says there's a limit. So what I did was I made a formula column. And that formula, and I'll show you the actual formula. Feel free to take this. It says only output the first 8,000 characters because that's the limit. The limit is 8,000 characters, as you can see here. Is it characters or kilobytes? What did I do? Oh, I put 8,000 characters. I might have messed that up, but it works. It somehow works. So the reason why I did that is because if we're trying to run formulas and we link it to a cell with, like this one that's highlighted right here. Hold on, let me uncheck this row. If we link it to a cell like this one or one of these two that has a red triangle, it's not going to be able to run. It's going to say it's going to say run condition not met or some inputs missing, one of those two. So we have to put the text in here, in this column, so that we can have these ones work. So now in this column, I have it summarizing this scrape because I'm going to use the stuff we scraped in ChatGPT later. But ChatGPT gets overwhelmed. It gets anxiety if we give it too much information. So I have one layer of ChatGPT just summarizing all that stuff and putting it into somewhat simple language. And I have a prompt so that it gives me case studies and stuff like that, like all the major highlights of this information that was scraped. And this is just ChatGPT. This is 4.0 mini. It's 4.0 mini. So I have that API integrated, and then I have another ChatGPT integration to confirm whether or not the company, based on their website information and their website summary, so based on this summary right here, this ChatGPT module lets us know if it's actually a staffing and recruitment firm or not. If it's not, we're going to filter by that later. If it is, then we're going to continue working. So we only want to work with lists that are contacts that are qualified. The goal is to qualify those as soon as possible before you do anything fancy. Because then if you don't, you're going to be wasting resources on companies that you aren't going to be contacting. Now, of course, I didn't realize my camera was lagging that entire time. So sorry about that, guys. Hopefully you stuck around until this point. So this is all clean. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to right click on this text column right here. It has to be a text column or else you can't apply filters. So first off, how you make a text column is you click, I'm just covering the basics right now. You click on any one of these cells in this column, find the information that you want to make as its own column. So in this case, I want this right here. That's the message where it says accepted, and you press add as column right there on the right. That makes you a whole column. I named mine deliverability because it lets me know if it's deliverable or not. So I'll right click on this column. I will press filter on this column, deliver, and only show ones that say accepted. One thing I like to do, actually, just to give it the benefit of the doubt, just to give it a chance, is I'll go to all the ones that say timeout, because Mail Tester Ninja just didn't have a chance, or it just got bogged down with stuff. So I'm going to run these again. I'm going to force run these. I will pause this and then resume once this is all done. But we'll see how many it saved, because right now 291, if you look right here where it says rows, 291 are marked as timeout. So sometimes it saves them. So I'm going to pause it here, and I'm stuttering. I'm going to pause it here and we'll compare. So believe it or not, that actually took longer than the first run. So and because it was all timeouts, so it kind of had to just time out again. So I don't know, it's weird, but that definitely took longer. So anyway, let's filter these, or actually just go to the filters we set. So we're going to remove this, and I'm going to put timeout again just to see how much we ended up with on timeout. That's case sensitive. Forgot. Timeout. All right, so first we had 291 on timeout, and now I don't believe that. There has to be some. And now, see, there's one right there that says timeout. Let's see. There we go. So from 291 to 220, so about 71 of them we were able to recover. I'm sure you can recover more if you do this again, but I just like to proceed. So if it says timeout, chances are there's a reason why. So, wait a second, hold on. Why does it... I'm pretty sure I scraped 3 to 10 employees. Why do I have companies with less than 3 employees? Oh well, let's leave them there for now. Oh well, anyway, these are the timeout ones, so let's go to accepted. All right, so we have 2,900 to play with. We're going to scrape all the ones, run all rows that haven't run. Run. All right, let me just make sure that this is working properly, because sometimes I have it set to a particular sub-niche of recruitment firms. So based on the content in the response column, classify whether the company offers recruiting, talent acquisition, or is a staffing agency. Executive search, recruitment, talent placements, talent advisory. There you are. All right, looks good to me. So let's close this. So again, this column right here just is to confirm that it's actually a recruitment firm. Hold on, I just need to check that again. Wait. I need to check that again just to make sure. Uh-oh, see? I messed it up, and good thing I checked it again. So what caught my attention is that this column right here next to it says, is startup recruitment firm, question mark? I'm like, startup recruitment firm? So recruitment firms that cater to startups. I'm like, no, I don't want that. I want just regular recruitment firms. Not just recruitment firms that service tech startups. So let's fix that. Let's open this up. If I start to lag again, forgive me. Whether the company offers recruiting, talent acquisition, recruitment agency, Yeah, this statement right here would trip it up. Clearly serves startups or tech companies. So let's get rid of that. And let's change the prompt to very simply, because ChatGPT, you got to explain to it like you're 5. ETC. Get rid of this. Great. Great. That looks good now. So we're going to save and don't run. We're going to have to run that whole column again. Let's just see. Just give me a chance to see how many summaries this has done. Some inputs missing, 89. So let's filter this. Or you know what? Yeah, let's filter this by ones that have an error just to see what's going on. So some inputs missing. Okay, it's because the summary is blank because something happened with the website. Let's just see a quick example. A quick example of what error is happening. Just a crawl error. Some error happened, which might mean that they don't have. So something about their website might be down. Let's just double check. I'm going to open this website right now. There you go. So that's why. Exa really doesn't mess up. I haven't really seen it mess up. So let's remove that filter we just set. So does not contain an error. Just hit the opposite. So we went from 2900 to 2800. So you can see this is getting smaller and smaller. Out of these 2800, you got to think about you're sending 2 emails per person, per contact. So that's a little over 500 emails. It's about 5,600 emails if my math is right. So you just think about that. If you're sending 1,000 emails a day, that's about a week's worth so far. Now we haven't even filtered for ICP yet, so we're going to do that right now. We're going to force run all the rows, all of them. I'm going to pause it here. I have a lot of faith in this prompt. I've been using it quite a bit. So I'm going to pause this here. And what's this? I don't remember seeing this before. This synthesizing, polishing. This must be a Clay update. Anyway, I'm going to pause this here, let it run, and we'll resume once it's done. All right, so that is all done. That is one of the longer parts of the process. However, let's just see what let's do some double checking. Let's do some spot checking first. So let's go about halfway down. And let's just pick some random companies and let's just clarify. So this says this company, whatever this company is a recruitment firm. So let's just verify. Let's copy their domain. Let's paste it in and manually look them up. And specialization, procurement, supply chain recruitment, construction recruitment. Great. Cool. Now, something tells me that I should filter out some sub-niches. Something tells me that I should filter out some sub-niches. Because the recruitment firms get really niche sometimes. Oh, this is lagging again. Sorry, guys. The recruitment firms get really, really niche sometimes. Like biomedical tech recruitment. So let's, you know what? We'll sort that out when we get there. When they get on the call, and we'll figure out all this stuff. We'll figure that out. So let's just leave it as is. So that looks good. Let me just test one more. This is going to make me lag again. I'm sorry in advance, guys. I'm going to pick one that says, another one that says yes. Here's a company overview. We can just look at that. Staffing for scientific, engineering, and technical professionals. That's fine. Tech recruitment is fine. This one says no. Specialize in empowering businesses with fractional HR solutions. Yeah, we don't want fractional HR. We want talent. We want staffing and recruitment. So I'm glad that says no right there. So that's good. All right. So that's fine with me. I'll probably... Yeah, let's keep going. Hold on. Can never be too sure. Matching world-class talent with top-tier law firms. So that's a law firm, recruitment firm. Great. Yeah, that looks good. Let's find the one that says no. Technical customer support. Good. That's not a recruitment firm. That is a recruitment firm. Let's do maybe 3 or 4 more. That's good. Transforming nonprofits to effective recruiting for leadership staff. That's fine. I don't really like Yeah, well, anyway, it's fine. All right, so that looks good. I'm good with that. So what we're going to do now is we're going to filter. This is very, very important. We're going to filter this for only ones that contain... Oops, I put the filter on the wrong column. I have to put on this column right here. I said something earlier where I said you can't put filters on API columns, but you can. You just can't pick the equal to or not equal to or contains or not contains drop down. You won't have those options for your filter. So this should be, is a recruiter equal to yes. So we have 2.4K. So we went from 2.8K to 2.4K. Not bad at all. We're not losing too many leads, which is great. I wanted to end up around 2,500. To if we're sending 1,000 emails a day, which is where we're at right now, that'll cover this week, and we can really just laser focus on staffing and recruitment. So that's good. So now that we filtered it only for companies that are actually staffing and recruitment firms, I'm just cleaning the company name, and then we're really done here. And I'll show you how I'll personalize it in a second. I'll start writing the copy, and I'll upload this stuff to Smart Lead, and we'll be good. All right. So I'm going to pray this doesn't lag this time. So while the company names are cleaning, I'm now in Smart Lead, creating a new campaign. And I think the strategy I'm going to do here is I'm going to split these in half. So if I have just over 2,000 contacts, right? I think I'm going to cut it down the middle. So 1,000 will go to a Loom campaign. And then, can I do this in variants? Let me think about this. Can I just do like A/B variants where I'm just switching the call to action here? No, I want to keep the campaign data separate. So let's do 2 different campaigns. It's really not that much more work. So this is going to be boutique recruiters Loom. Campaign 3 to 10 employees. All right. So it's only going to be a 2-step sequence, okay? I'm going to make sure we change this because I forgot to change this on a lot of campaigns, and I think it really just messed up my deliverability because I think people were probably just hitting spam. The people who were not interested, they were probably just hitting spam. So here's how we're going to approach this, okay? So we're going to subject line, we're going to go with we'll do quick question. I don't like to think about this too deeply. We'll go first name, quick question. What else will we do? Let's see. We'll do pipeline Q3. We're in Q3, right? Yes, we are. Pipeline Q3 first name. And we'll also do. I'm not testing these subject lines, as you can see. I'm just spin taxing them. So it's randomly going to pick one of these three. I don't care to test them right now. I've tested these a bunch. That they're all fine. They're all fine. Notice the common denominator though between all of them is I'm putting in their first name. Because as played out as quick question can be, if you put their first name, it can work. I mean, it does work. We'll do first name. I kind of want to test this one. It's all right. I'm not tracking open rates anyway. Then we'll put intro right there. I like that. I like that. I like that. All right. I like that one right there. First name, sign, Pablo, my name, intro. I like that. 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 Let's see if that. Yeah, okay, cool. So we're good. So the spin tax works. So these are my different options. Yeah, that looks good. All right. So we'll spin tax all this stuff later, but it's gonna be hi George. Hey George. We're gonna do hi spin tax, hey spin tax, so it really doesn't matter right now. Company name. Staffing firms, and this should be state, like their state right here. Their state. Please tell me I have a variable for this. Let's check Clay. If it's gonna lag, if this video is gonna lag, it's gonna be right now, so forgive me in advance. Organization state. Do we have the person state? We do. Some of them are empty though. So this is where not the company is based, but where the person is based. I like that. I really, 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 really do. So we're going to put that in there just to make it that much more relevant. Cool. It's word salad already. I'll cut it down in a second. Curious to know if you'd be interested in that can be condensed. Don't worry, this will be condensed. Don't get mad. Don't. I know it's word salad right now, but it will be condensed. I just got to get this out. This is saying there's an error somewhere. Company name is fine. This will be first name as well. Where's the error? Okay, so I have this. First name. First name. First name. Where did I go wrong? Is it this? It is. It is that. Here, let me get rid of this. Just bold it for now so I remember to come back. All right. Curious to know if you'd be interested in meeting with more hiring managers who are looking for agency help with their search. So, we built a tool that we built a tool. Oh, I already know what my other approach is going to be. I already oh, I'm a genius. I'm a genius. I'm a genius. You guys are going to see. Hold on. I'm a genius. I'm a genius. All right. Curious to know if you'd be interested in meeting with more hiring managers who are looking for agency help with their search. We built a tool. Automated workflow that allows us to find and connect staffing firms with. I'm going to get rid of this. 5+ hiring managers a month. Autopilot. Open. Oh, you guys can't see. I'm sorry, guys. There you go. We built a workflow that allows us to connect staffing firms with 5+ hiring on autopilot via cold email. going to do something a little extra here. So I have this new offer, right? It's not a new offer. It's one of our main offers, and I'm just gonna test this out in real time. So I'm just gonna paste this. Actually, let me take this and let's go to Hemingway. Just because it's easier to read. I'm gonna paste this all in. Ugh, I was doing the send from my iPhone thing. Yeah, so that's good. So already this is at 71 words. This is 71 words. At a grade A reading level, which is not what we want. Now, let's move this down so you guys can see. And where I'm at now, what I want to tie in. So let's see. Let's see what it comes up with. Oh wow, it already started. Whoops, forgot to scroll down. Okay, ignore the subject lines. They're always bad. Hey George, saw or reviewing top books exam. Figure this might be relevant. Would you be open to assist in that books on autopilot? Oh, hold on. Here, I see this is good. I use ChatGPT like this sometimes as like a sounding board. Would you be open to a system that books meetings with hiring managers on autopilot? That we got to make this seem easy. So either the word autopilot has to be there, or automatically has to be there, or without you lifting a finger has to be there. So we're going to go line by line. So I like that version right there. Let's see how the email 2 did it. Quick follow up. Oh, no. This is. Yeah, no. All right. Would you be open to us? I'm a former recruiter who built a workflow. I don't know if I like that word. Savvy person. So I just go back and forth like ping pong until I get something concise that I like. Would you be open to a system that automatically finds and books meetings with hiring managers who are looking for agency help? Mm. Finds, that automatically finds. So would you be open? I'm just imagining saying this to someone on the street, or someone saying this to me on the street. Hey Pablo, came across your firm while looking at in Canada. Would you be open to a done for you system? Get rid of this. This is another version of easy. Done for you. Would you be open to a tool, a system that automatically finds and books meetings with hiring managers who are open to agency help? That finds and books meetings with hiring managers who are open to agency help on autopilot. That needs to be simplified a little bit. No. Would you benefit from it's lengthy, but we're almost there. We're refining. Okay. So this line radiates easy. It's automatic. It's on autopilot. What did I write up here? Orton Hemingway. Former recruiter. The fact that I'm a former recruiter, I can put that in the PS line. So this is where we are now. You can see how much refinement this takes. How staffing firms are allowed. Okay, ignore that subject line. Hey George, would it help to automatically? I don't like would it help because it's obvious. Would you be interested in a month who are already open to agency help? I don't like that line. Is it changing my line? Oh, I wrote that. Oh no. Would it help to get automatically connected with hiring managers? So there's a few things going on here. It's this right here, hiring managers. So you can replace this with job orders, but I can't promise job orders, right? I can't promise job orders. I can promise to connect them with active hiring managers who, are interested in filling their position, but I can't promise job orders. I can't promise that it's 10% faster than the competition. I can promise things like it being cost effective versus an SDR, but I mean, 3 to 10 employees. Do these guys really have SDRs? Maybe a few. But we're trying to generate demand here. That's the whole point of this question. We both responsible. I kind of like this right here. This is going to be social proof filler line. Don't touch. It's just for ChatGPT. You got to think deeply about this stuff. Don't rush this. Would it help to get automatically connected with hiring managers who are open to agency help? I don't really like that. It's kind of fluffy. I'm gonna get rid of that and just jump straight into it. Actually, no, I kind of need that. Wait, where's my personalization here? Oh, I got lost. Yeah, no. Bring that back. That's important. All right, this is where we're at right now. I've been sitting for a really long time. Hey George, saw a company name while reviewing top boutique firms in Vermont. Figured this might be relevant. We built a system that okay, now I want to know. So let me paste my offer back in. I want to know how we can communicate this. No. Do it in email 1. There might not be enough space for this, but let's just see. overthinking this, but that's okay. It's too much text. Too much text. Yeah, that's too much text. Way too much text. It's this line right here that has to be. It has to hit. It has to be a home run right here. We built a system that spots and books 5 qualified meetings per month using cold email. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause this video. I'm going to think a bit deeper about this, and then I'll resume once I have a final version, because I don't want to keep you guys on here for... All right, guys. So I paused the video. In the meantime, I wrote the copy. It got really late last night. I like to sleep on my copy and look at it again in the morning. And the funny part is the whole thing got deleted. My entire copy, my draft got deleted. But anyway, so I rewrote it. It's currently 9:37 a.m. We're still going to launch this campaign. Everything has been exported from Clay. So how I did it was I exported 2 batches. So we have about 2,400 leads that were cleaned. So I did 1,200 for the first batch, and then the next batch will do another 1,200. How I'm going to do it is I was thinking of just doing a Loom campaign for the first one. So I might just stick with one campaign. It might just be a Loom campaign, and that's it. We're just going to see how well this works. So I'm just going to upload 1,200 leads for this one. And one thing I caught as well was that some of these contacts didn't have their state filled in right here. So that would have really messed up. Oh, let me move this up for you. That would have really messed up my copy. Like, that would have been a real typo. Because I'll show you the personalization line in a second, but it says found company name while looking at staffing firms in state. And that state would have been blank. So it would have been a really big error for about 10 or so of those leads. I was thinking of something else. I lost my train of thought, but it was a personalization thing. Oh yeah, okay. So I'll show you the copy that I came up with. And first let's import these leads, and then we'll go from there. So we are going to ignore the leads that exist in another campaign, and we're not going to import leads that have bounced. Import leads, subscribe. No, we leave that off. All right, so we're going to save that. And then here's how I do this. So first name is going to be first name, last name, headline. I don't need that. Email, sure. So this is going to be a custom variable because this is the state, right? This is the state in Clay or in my spreadsheet that I'm uploading. And we're going to put that as a custom variable in SmartLead. Country, we leave that alone. Organization name, Gemini Print is the cleaned company name. So we're going to put that as company name. Don't think we need anything else. One thing I remember I was going to say before. One thing that I was going to do was, and I used to do this, and it really works so well, but I might do this in a different campaign. I might. I should just do it in this campaign if I'm going to do it. Let me just share what I was thinking. So I was just going to, I used to do this. So I used to have a chat GPT module in Clay that would confirm the exact roles that this company staffs for or places. So, sometimes there are like oil and gas staffing firms. So in my copy, I'd be like, would you have any interest in connecting with hire managers who are actively looking to fill oil and gas roles? So it's just that much more specific. I might try it out. I just don't want to have to repersonalize this whole thing. It's already 9:40 a.m. So let's just go with this. Because we want to get these out by this morning by 11. I also have meetings today. So let's just double confirm. Got first name, last name, email. Of course, we need that. We need the state and we need the company name. And that's about it. So we're going to save that. So I want to show you something really, really cool. So if you recall, I was going back and forth with ChatGPT. What I do is this is one of my processes. Is I'll draft the thing and then I'll use ChatGPT to help me condense it. But I go part by part. So the personalization statement, we go back and forth. I'll send it to ChatGPT. It'll revise it, send it back to me. I'll revise it, send it back to it. It'll revise it, send it back to me. And we just keep going back and forth. So that's really my process for right now. Anyway, that's really my process for now. And I find that it allows me to condense things nicely. So this is what the copy looks like. And then I'm going to spin tax it. Don't let me forget to do that. So subject lines, again, everything got deleted last night, but the subject line kind of looks like these. I kind of changed them a little bit. So this is email A. I went over the whole 50-word thing, Oh, whoops, I got to personalize this. That's not great. I went over the whole 50-word thing. I don't think that should be a hard rule. I just wanted to get out what I had to say. Okay. So that's what that looks like here. I'm going to preview this. So it looks like, hi, first name, I came across company while looking at boutique staffing agencies in province. Figured this might be relevant. Would you be interested in a service that automatically connects you to hiring managers who are actively looking for agency support? We do done-for-you cold email for staffing agencies that delivers you 5+ meetings with ideal hiring managers in 35 days, guaranteed on autopilot. The whole thing I want to communicate with this is a lot of instances of easy, safe, and predictable, right? So easy, done for you. And 35 fast as well, guaranteed. So that's safe, on autopilot, easy, and predictable. So we put in a quick case study and PS line down there to communicate that I'm a former recruiter myself, and then that's my opt out right there. So we shall see how this works, and then the subject line, very, very basic. And so now we're going to spin tax this, but before we do, let me just show you this one. So this is a template I borrowed from Nick Abraham, and I really like it. I'm testing it out. I'm still figuring it out. I haven't had a lot of success with it, but I'm still figuring it out. A lot of that could be due to offer and lead list, but it's a great template nonetheless. So it goes, hi Nate, found your company while looking at boutique staffing firms in state. We got to change the state to the actual state. In Texas. Quick question. Your competitors, so Adecco, Robert Half, and Tech Systems. Oh, the spacing didn't work out well. Hold on. So I got to double check everything. Tech Systems, Motion Recruitment. There we go. So Adecco, Robert Half, and Tech Systems are using automated cold email to line job orders. Have you considered it? The reason I ask is we run full. We run fully managed cold email for staffing firms. We build and operate this for you and guarantee like 35 days where you get a full read and keep everything. Social proof, we just see a 2-minute video explaining the details. Buying contract. So this is a lengthy email, but I'm gonna send it. I'm gonna go for it. We have nothing to lose. It's 100 words. Let me just see how this looks on my phone first. Hold on. Before we do all that. Let me handle the setup. Let's bring this down here so you guys can see. Sender accounts. Smart lead. Come on. All right, smart lead is having some issues for some reason. 1 second, guys. There we go. So finally populated. A bunch of these are in use on another campaign that I probably paused. All right. So I'm going to select all. No, I only want we're just gonna do all Outlook for now. That'll get us about 1,000 emails a day. We're gonna schedule this campaign between it's already 10 o'clock, so 10, somewhere around there. To 6 o'clock, sure, that's fine. Start date is today. Gonna do 1,000 max new leads. Sorry, you guys can't see that. I keep forgetting. There you are. 1,000 new leads. Time zone. Gonna do New York. Cool. Why is that not why is there no check mark? Smart lead is acting up right now. I'm not sure what's going on here. Let's do 1026. Okay, did any of this stuff save? Let's refresh the page. I'm not sure any of this stuff saved. Okay, it did. Okay, great. So Smartly's just bugging out. All right. Modify settings. That looks good. That looks good. Plain text, yes. Don't track email opens. Don't track clicks. 70-30, 80-20. I'm not really particular about that. Company level auto pause, no. Analyze the. I don't do the whole ESP matching thing. I stopped doing that. Now here, we're going to auto categorize all of, all of these there. Ignore the auto categorize OOO from apply percentage. Yes, reactivate auto categorize OOO lead after a delay. No. Automatic restart. Yeah, category. No. Right here on prompt. High bounce rate. Unsubscribe. Yeah, we'll auto pause at 3%. Even though I've never in my life hit a 3% bounce rate because I clean my lead lists. Then we're gonna hit save at the bottom. That looks good. Now let's see what this looks like on mobile, and then we'll add spin tax. By the way, email 2, I forgot to mention, is just a straight up offer. It's just a straight up offer like this. So it goes like, hey, first name, I bet you get a ton of these emails. If you aren't using words, here's my best proposal. We'll build and run your entire cold email infrastructure from the ground up and guarantee in 35 days. If we don't hit that minimum, you'll receive a full refund and get to keep the entire system. No questions asked. So yeah, I'm just going against the grain here. Very traditional. Very, 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 very traditional. So this is what it looks on mobile. That's fine. The PS line makes it look longer, but like, it's fine. Let's see, email 2. I kind of like this. It's long. It's long. But I kind of like this. Now I'm just going to do a spell check. Let's spin tax this stuff. I'm just going to do a spell check. Let's start with variant 2. We're going to go docs, blank document. So I realized my camera lags when a web page is loading, and it was lagging really bad because Clay is always doing something. Tools, spelling and grammar check. You'd be surprised as to how many people don't do this. Let me zoom out for you guys. I don't think you guys can see what's going on here. So there were no errors in that one. That's great. And let's check this right here. Spelling grammar, we do done for you. I like how I had it. And email B or variant B. Tools, spelling, grammar check. What? Partner. That's a. Whoops. Hold on. What is it talking about? It's this one right here. There we go. All right. So that's done. So we are going to spin tax all this. Here's the easy way to spin tax this stuff. So I copy this, I go to ChatGPT, spin tax /add variants each where possible, including greeting, hi, hey. I keep forgetting you guys can't see this. I will work on my OBS setup. I promise. Oops. I forgot to put in the actual thing. Here. This should help. This should help. So we're going to copy this. We're going to dump it here. Now you guys should be able to see. We're going to close Google Docs. That's getting in my way. We're going to go back here. We're going to zoom out even more because you guys can't see. It's even worse now. There. I also included the words refund and guarantee in these emails. I did. I'm sorry. I did. I'm going against the rules. Sometimes rules are meant to be broken for the sake of testing. I don't think this matters too much at this volume. I just don't. Let's paste it. Just looking this over. So the spin tax can mess up with the spacing. So you got to check the spacing. That's the thing that messes up, like right here, in between the comma. I can't have spacing. Let me just do it manually, just so I can really read it. Handle the entire quality measure from scratch. Guarantee. As you can see, I'm just removing the spacing, like between, the spin tax bar and the last word. There's a space, which makes it look weird in practice. This looks good now. Again, long, but just trying something different. I'm just going to run this through Google Docs again. Lag incoming. Sorry about the lag, guys. Looks good. All right, let's close Google Docs. Don't lag again. Cool. Good. So that's how I spin tax. Keeps it very non-fingerprinty. You're not fingerprinting that. That looks like it was written. Now let's do it line by line. Same with this. Print it here, not in code. So I'm going line by line, so I don't mess anything up. I don't like hello. I hope it doesn't mess this one up because I spent a lot of time on this offer statement. Reason I asked, the reason I reaching out. No, I don't like that off the bat. A lot of this is going to have to go. Reason I ask. Reason. We run handle offer fully. I don't like offer. I like letting them know we're already doing it. We're doing it right now. We build and operate. Set up and run. Create and manage the entire system for you. And guarantee. Active, ideal, engage hiring manager in 35 days. We refund you in full. Still keep it all. Cool. Let's do this one right here. This too. Okay. Through the system we built. Cool. And then the PS line, of course. There. So that's it. That is it. That is fully done. Let's do a final review and test. I'm gonna send this. Actually, I'm gonna run a spam test too. Off the bat. So we're going to be late to launch this, but that's okay. It's still in the morning. All right, we're just going to run. Save and run that test. Cool. Spam test is done. Looks like we got 100%, which is good. I also sent myself the tests. I found a few typos and spacing and formatting errors, so I fixed that. I took out some of the spin tax. So now let's send this campaign. Let's send it. It's a bit long, but we're just testing. You don't lose your business by testing things. You have to test to find the winners. So let's launch this campaign. So it's currently 10:42, so we're gonna change this. You know what? Let's just put 1050 or something. And what Smart Lead will do is it'll automatically adjust itself. So 1051. Max number of new leads should literally be 1,000. I don't know why that messed up, but that was a big error. That would have been really bad. All right, so that's done. Campaign settings, we are good. Let me just triple check. 80/20, no ESP matching, send to all, auto categorize, no out of office replies in our reply rate, bounce rate protection, even though I never really use it. Save, next, final review. And we are launching, and that's it, guys. That's it. So it's going to launch. The next trigger is at 10:51 a.m. So in about 8 minutes from now. All right, guys. If you stayed around this long, thanks. I hope you took something away from it. If you run a B2B business and you want an additional 5 meetings next month, sales meetings with qualified clients, qualified prospects, your ideal prospects, I'll put the link to my website in the description so you can find out more and hopefully schedule a strategy call with myself. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.